Genghis Khan built the largest empire in history. From his home country of Mongolia, he invaded many other countries. Future generations expanded Mongol control from Asia into Europe, Russia, and the Middle East. His military was known for fearsome warriors and aggressive strategies. Today, Mongolia is growing economically and politically and is a country that is also awakening to God. Jeff and Shauna Spence are World Partner staff members who serve in Mongolia. They are pleased to be a part of God's ministry in that country and enjoy the people and the privilege of helping them grow in Christ. Jeff tells of one man named Oko, who probably would have been a good Genghis Khan soldier. Today, he is a model of God's redemption and an illustration of the work God can do in a person's life. Oko spent his early years of life in prison where he had a chance to participate in the sport of boxing. Returning to the real world, Oko came to Christ and became involved in YWAM, or Youth with a Mission. One day he was standing outside the YWAM office and God spoke to him. God said Oko should love the neglected kids in his community by starting a boxing club. He began with a friend from his prison days, but when the only building they could find for their club was a basement, his friend became discouraged. Oko forged ahead and had some help from other boxing clubs and began the Eagle Boxing Club. After struggling to get kids who could pay a fee, Oko remembered God's calling to focus on neglected kids. He asked God to send him the kids God wanted him to love. Oko states, "After this, many kids attended the club, but I continued to pray that God would allow those he wanted me to work with to remain. I was talking to the kids, and the kids God was sending me were poor, from single-parent families, and sick. People in society think boxing is only for the bad kids, but as a sport, boxing can teach many things about life and about being a Christian. It starts with learning about God's resources. Without much money, Oko had to build his own club by hand, including the ring. Many of the guys live in the Gare district of town where they do not have running water, so Oko teaches hygiene and how to stay clean. There is also teaching for character development, and someday Oko hopes to be able to provide some meals for the guys. Oko admits he's grown a lot. At first he focused on boxing, but then God told him he was paying too much attention to winning medals and not enough on loving the kids. God has been teaching him how to do that, and now the boys have been winning some tournaments too. The real rewards are the boys who come to know Christ and begin living for Him even though they are poor and neglected at home. Some feel like they are a part of Oko's family, and he's glad for that. Most of all, he wants the boys to know Christ and to form a life of Christian discipline and faith. Oko's spiritual ministry is one illustration of the way God is working among the Mongol people and blessing the ministry of Jeff and Shauna Spence.